How long are you going to settle for less than God has intended for you? How long are you going to settle for operating at a lower capacity and a lower functioning level than everything that God created you to be? You know that you are so much more. You are stronger. You have more capacity. You have more tools available that you don't even know about. Come join Kings on Fire and get equipped, get trained on how to use all of those tools so that you can govern as a king and really be the hands and feet that the Lord has called you to be. Join us.
Welcome to the Spirit-Centered Business Podcast, where we blend the spiritual with the practical for supernatural results. Now, here is your host, Bralynn Newby.
Hello there. Welcome to Spirit-Centered Business. I don't have a guest for this episode because I just wanted to talk to you from my heart. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and I mean, you guys know the state of the world, but I just wanted to share some things with you and kind of sharpen a little bit of iron with you. And of course, I welcome feedback. So last week, actually 2 weeks ago, I put out a call to kings because I really have felt the Lord over these last several months and calling kings. But to tell you the truth, I didn't think I was ready. And I had to get myself in order and overcome some of the challenges so that I would have authority in the area where I believe the Lord is calling me to teach. So I always have to look at what's going on in me before I can, teach it. I love the way Bill Johnson said this in one of the books that I've been pursuing lately. I've just been eating up all of the old Miles Monroe and even old Chris Valentin, and then Bill Johnson was in there doing something. And I'm not really even a Bethel. I don't follow Bethel, but I really love some of the teaching that they have in the books that they've written. And what Bill said was he doesn't study to teach. He studies to learn. And, I've been guilty of studying to teach in the past. Sometimes I just have this urge to study something and teach it right away. It actually helps me learn it when I teach it. But I understand what he was saying there is that we have to implement the things in our own life. We have to get the overcoming and the implementing and know the pros and cons and the ins and outs of actually doing the thing so that we can properly teach it and let people know what to avoid, what are the pitfalls. And, oh, I did it this way. You probably don't want to do that. I learned a lesson here, or, hey, I figured this out. This was a cool way to do this, whatever. So that is what the Lord has been working on me working on in me for the last several months, because I have felt this call to kings for quite a while, but I didn't actually issue it out to the world until I felt ready, that the Lord had worked through some things in me. I may have said this again, either in Spirit-Centered Business or in the Nth Degree, that I went through another bout of feeling betrayal from an old betrayal. And I was like, wow, okay, thought we were done with that. Apparently not. So I had to do the forgiveness and, get it out of me as soon as possible so that I didn't wallow in it and allow it to create the neural pathways that create the stories around the betrayal and the the old lies that would come up is, I'm not worth whatever, I'm not good enough, I'm not whatever, why you make stories up about why you got betrayed rather than just, the person was a jerk or, whatever. And then also forgive them because they're on their journey as well. So I had to work through that. Then there were some other things too. I'm not going to go through everything, but the point is, so here's the point. He is calling kings because it is time. I was just up at Raleigh with Sean Foyt, and he was saying, what is going to shift and change in the world is going to take a move of God. Wouldn't you agree that if we do not have a move of God in the earth today, in this season, in this time, we're in for some pretty rough season of human history. I believe God is having a movement. I believe that He is creating momentum for the sons to rise up, and not only maturing sons, but literally understanding who we are as kings. Because it's through us, the ones who actually pick up the call and say, yes, Lord, use me. I don't care what it costs, Lord. I am willing to go. And that's what I said to the Lord. I said, use me. I will make the call. I'm not responsible for who answers the call. I'm not responsible for the outcomes of other people's choices. I'm responsible for me and doing the best that I can do. And I believe I've been called to a building season. I believe I've been called to call the kings and to have them understand, first of all, who they are. Get rid of the stuff. The Lord called it, not me. The Lord called it the program Kings on Fire for a reason. He wants to burn off all of the things like that old betrayal thing that came up for me. That has been burned off. And I'm just going to trust that it's never going to come up to that extent, and maybe never come up at all, because I have burned that tether off. And so He wants to do that for you. The things that have been holding you back from your dreams, and the things that keep you stuck in your comfort zone and keep quiet and small, He wants to burn that off, because He needs the people who are bold. He needs the people who are courageous, who want to go forward and build, like Nehemiah and everything that he went through to gather the people, and everybody was responsible for their section of the wall, and they had to guard and build at the same time. They had to be on the lookout. There were watchers. There were people who needed to protect as well as build. And I think there was even a verse that says that they had the weapon in one hand and a tool in the other, so that they were literally ready to come against anything that would stop them from building the wall. Well, that is the way that we need to be. We need to be so in it to win it for the Lord, not for ourselves, not for what we think is a good idea, not for the things that we think is going to keep us safe in the world. Because I guarantee the things that we think are going to keep us safe are the very things God is calling us to step out in faith, in trust, and take a risk, so that He can show up mighty in the earth, so that His glory can be seen everywhere that you go. I believe it's for such a time as this. And I know that's a phrase that's used all the time with Esther and all of that, but it's the call that Daniel and David and Joseph and Gideon answered. It is the time to rise up as a king. We can't stay small any longer. You see what happens in the world when the sons of God abdicate their influence in society and in culture. When we abdicate the influence, the prayers are removed from schools. Well, what happened there? You know, I don't want to get off on a soapbox about all of the social issues that have come. You guys know it's going to take a move of God. Well, guess what? We're his hands and feet. That move is going to come through us. And especially if you're a business owner, you are called to fund that move. I can't put it any more plainly. We need to get over our stuff, get over the past stuff, step out, rise up, and be the person that he called you to be. Every day, walk according to the specific destiny scroll that he wrote for you, in the specific design that the way he designed you, the way that you think, the passions of your heart, your skills, your knowledge, the things you've overcome. He needs to use your unique skill set, experience set, and destiny calling to walk in the sphere of influence that he gave you as a king. Sadly, we've not been taught how to govern as kings. There's very few people who are doing that, and especially in the business realm. How many people are actually operating their business on earth as their business exists in heaven? Are they even going into heaven and looking to see what the Lord says about whatever business decision that needs to be made, whatever growth that needs to happen, whatever challenge needs to happen? What does he say about it? We're in business. If you're in business, you're a king, and your kingdom is your business. If you're not in business, you are still a king, and you have your own kingdom. I don't care if it's only your family. I don't care if it's your workplace, wherever you work. That's your kingdom, your sphere of influence, and you're called as a king to be a builder. You are called to make straight the way of the Lord. What needs to be built in your sphere of influence? And I'm talking about built in the spirit realm before you see it in the natural. We're heading into the end of the year 2024 right now as I record this. We're heading into 2025. We've already entered into the Hebrew year 5785. And I just think it is time to get over being small. He's calling us to build in this season. I've seen so many prophetic voices. I have a great friend, Nancy Knopp. I interviewed her a few episodes ago, a couple months ago. And she put out a call, a prophetic word that it's time to build. Chuck Pierce has been putting out words that it's time to build. It's time to wake up. Like, wake up. We can no longer stay sleeping and silent and stay on default. And I believe that as we're stepping into this new year, that just happens to correspond. And I say just happens kind of tongue in cheek because the Lord knew this the whole time. The new year, as we happen to come into that in January, that corresponds with the second course in Kings on Fire, which is all about authority. And in January, we're going to take authority over the entire year. We're going to understand how to operate in kingly authority with being a king, as he is a king of kings. So we're going to learn how to do that. But the reason that I say it's the second is because the first one starts tomorrow night, actually, and I am opening enrollment for another week. Sorry about my color change. My camera's doing some crazy stuff here. I'm opening the enrollment for another week because you can catch up 1 week. But this first course is Ignite Your Inner King. It's all about your identity, because you can't take authority in the earth unless you get over the stuff that is holding you back. Your woundedness will limit your effectiveness as a king, will limit your effectiveness to take that authority. You won't even have earned the authority if you're still in a wounded place. So we're going to get all of that taken care of first. Igniting the passion for your destiny, burning off those tethers that I mentioned earlier. And this is some of the things that the Lord has been working with me on. You know, I have to walk this out just as much as you guys do. I'm literally a step ahead. That's all I am. I'm a step ahead. I've done some research. I've sat with the Lord. I've done some stuff. You know, I believe that I'm called to this. And please, I love the way that my friend Miranda says this. Please don't mistake my passion and my persistence in getting you into the program Kings on Fire, or even just taking the course Ignite Your Inner King. Let's get you all sorted on the inside so that you can step into authority in the new year. Don't take my persistence and passion for pushiness. I am just trying to fulfill the mandate that the Lord has called on me. Like I said, I can't be responsible for the choices you make. I can only show you what the Lord is showing me to do. And I can say, I am here to help you get yourself sorted, get yourself into authority, understand your kingship, understand who you are, get over the things that keep you small, get over those triggers that keep bugging you with little thoughts that come against your effectiveness, that come against your joy. They steal your peace, they steal your finances because you don't know how to protect well enough. You don't know how to establish things in the spirit realm. You don't know how to build things in the spirit realm before they come on into the earth. Everything happens in the spirit realm first before it comes into the earth. God always says that, you know, he had the idea and he showed Abraham the stars in the sky because God already had the idea that Abraham's seed was going to be that numerous. And he showed him that vision. He helped him visualize how numerous his seed was going to be, even though he was pushing 100 and he didn't have a son yet. You know, in the natural, you know the story. It didn't look good. But because the Lord had it all prepared in the spirit realm first, all of Abraham's seed were all set up, ready to go, come into our spirits were all ready to come into conception in the conception moment that we came into the earth. It was already done in the spirit realm. He could show that to Abraham and say, look at this, because it's already done. It is finished. And the Greek word tetelestai, it is finished, was already done. And I believe that the work that the Lord is calling you to do needs to be done in the spirit realm first. He's going to say, you know, come up here, come up and see what I'm doing. Jesus said he only did what he saw the Father doing. He said, come. So I think he's calling you to come up, see what I'm doing about this situation, and then bring it down, bring down the solution. We are the answer to people's prayers. We are the hands and feet of God, and it is time. It is time to build. It is time to wake up. It's time to finally get over the things that have held you back and kept you small and kept you in your perceived safe comfort zone. That's exactly where the enemy wants you. It's not actually safe there, dear one. It is not actually safe in your comfort zone, because that is the frog in the pot of water that's slowly getting warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer until it's too late. I don't want that for you. I want you to be in that stretching place. And I've looked at some of the scuttlebutt about the Hebrew meaning of 5785. I'm not a scholar, you guys know that. I have seen different answers as to what that means prophetically. I've seen that the hay means open spaces. It's like a window into an open space. I've seen things that are calling it to be a bridging or a tunneling season, depending on where the Lord has you. But regardless, it's It's a building season. It's the time for the sons to get sharpened up, get new armor, get new weapons, understand who you are as a king. Get yourself sorted. Join Kings on Fire. If you would like to go through the full program, it's 10 months. It's going to be amazing. The first course, it's 5 courses. The first course, which starts on Thursday night, I'm going to have open enrollment until November 7th. The first course is Ignite Your Inner King. And like I said, it's all about your identity, getting rid of the things that are not king and bringing in, igniting the things that are king, help you understand and see yourself, shift your paradigm, literally change your mindset about how you're going to operate in the world. That's first, that's starting. And then the second course is authority. We're going to start that in January. And of course, you're welcome to join each of the courses individually. You don't need to join the whole program. But those who join the whole program will get a more comprehensive, deep dive into exactly who God called them to be as a king. We're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff. I don't need to go over it all right now with you. I'm just encouraging you to jump in either into the first course, Ignite Your Inner King, or into the whole program. And I will put the link to join in the show notes. And I'm also going to put the link to catch that replay of the masterclass in case anybody missed it and you want to go back and see the masterclass where I outlaid the whole program and we did an activation at the end. The Lord had a specific vision that I shared in that masterclass and a specific prophetic word for that masterclass. So those 2 links will be in here. And I look forward to seeing you soon. It's not too late to get your king on. All right. We will talk to you soon. And I can't encourage you enough. Wake up and king up.
Hey there, SCB peeps. I want to give a huge shout out and deep appreciation and thanks to Candace Benton. She has become a super sponsor for the Spirit Centered Business Show. So I would appreciate you helping me in sending blessings and abundance back to her. Thank you so much, Candace, and you are well loved.
Thank you for listening to Spirit Centered Business with Bralynn Newby. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. The next stage of doing business by being spirit-centered is coming together in collaboration, working with spiritual principles and knowing our destiny. Join our tribe at spiritcenteredbusiness.com, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast. Peace out.